Yeah.
Too fast, too furious.
I'm too fast for y'all, man.
I just
Too
wanted to do that.
fast. Too furious. I'm too fast for y'all, man. Yeah.
Wait, was Luda on the
Oh yeah. Oh,
soundtrack?
Luda was up. Luda was all up
on
in
that soundtrack.
Too Fast, Too
It
Furious.
is soundtrack. Okay,
Yo,
I feel
look,
it.
don't sleep on your boy Luda. So, what's up, guys? Late Ill Kid at One Young, so holding it down, bring you that street geek and nerd. So, what is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of Loungin. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. We was out of town. Then I think you were off. Then I was out of town. Then I got sick. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And guys, we apologize. But before we get started, I'm joined to my left by the awesomely talented Marquita Lestar.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What up, man? How y'all doing?
Oh boy, it's been a long time, but we feel good. Now, I wanted to ask someone in this story that we forgot so many times. Who's your boy, Jesse?
Oh, right. We're gonna do like an update where he's quick. I haven't read like
because the last time we talked about Jesse, it was like he was still a victim, right at the time,
a victim.
But tons of stuff
has
happened
and then tumbled. And so even though the FBI was like, yo, police chief of Chicago, you kind of jumped the gun. We don't all know that because they put a lot of stuff out there that wasn't necessarily true. So then people like me who are Jesse supporters was like, see what I tell you, and stuff.
Because it made we were like, yo, why would he do this? And like people were saying like, hey, folks have fake stuff before, and we were like, yeah, but those are people whose careers were over.
Like over in his slump. His wasn't his like he was the main like storyline of Empire. They had to redo Empire when they dropped him from Empire because that's new. He got dropped from Empire.
Oh word!
Oh yeah, they didn't use my idea. Storyline, which is like crazy. How I don't know how they're going to redo that if they're cutting stuff, but they're dropping him out of. He's been edited more or less and then dropped from Empire.
See, they shouldn't have did that. This is what they should have did.
What was your idea?
They should have recasted him but not said nothing. That would have been fun. Like hit y'all with an Aunt Viv. Like just get a light-skinned dude with curly hair.
Well, they didn't even do that with Aunt
Jamal.
Viv.
And just be like, hey Jamal. And just be like, is that Jamal?
They were like in your face when they did Aunt Viv dirty.
Yo, because Aunt Viv was straight up dark-skinned sister.
Her sister. And they walked out with light and we was like, are we just not supposed to say
is that a new aunt?
Like, who is that? Oh, this is Aunt Viv. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, no. That's not Aunt Viv.
That's probably been my biggest, my only real gripe was like the Aunt Viv scandal.
It was unmitigated colorism.
I was like, you couldn't replace old girl with like another dark
straight up.
Sister.
And like people, you might be watching, be like, yo, who would you trade Jesse with? Well, you know that dude. He just did a skit. I don't think
anybody asked me that question, but go ahead.
Oh, people did. people definitely did. So they just did a skit on the Daily Show. That light skinned dude on there, he's light skinned and he got curly hair.
That skit was
he's the new Jesse.
That skit was
it would be hilarious if like episode 15 you got regular Jesse, and then episode 16 like some random new dude.
You got a dude from like the like what's it called, Daily Show. Yeah. He was good too. It was so good, and like the points they were making in the skit was so on point. It was fire. It was so much fire.
Alan Lewis said Aunt Jamal. Now, quick shout out. We got everybody up in chat. Sean Kelly, Arcatron, what up? Oh, Arcatron, I'm gonna text you. Got some stuff for this week. Chris Smith, what up? Alan Lewis. We don't have Little Miss Chocolate yet, but I'm gonna say that just in case you roll in. And Keith Cooper, because they usually roll in a little bit later. So shout out to all y'all.
I like, look, dude, it's early.
They're like, it's early. So the sad thing about Jesse Smollett situation is I'm still at a loss for words about why.
Right. Nobody knows why.
Your career was fine.
You
had a TV show that's a popular show. It's not like you have a show that's not
really well. He had a sold out show before this even happened. So he had multiple sold out shows.
Thank you. So I mean, this dude was doing fine. This is something that's like a D-list does.
It. Exactly.
I don't get it.
And then I think where he ultimately made up, like, say if this was for those reasons of like publicity and stuff like that, is that 9 times out of 10 they don't get the police involved. They do an Instagram video. And everybody's like, you should go to the police, and they
like,
make up some reason why they're not going.
I don't want to go to the police.
And so there's a reason why they were saying, well, that's the reason why there's so much he didn't want to do that night. He didn't want to go to the hospital. He didn't want to go to the police. Stuff like that. And like, so it turned out, and I was like, so that I think he was indicted on 16 different charges, and everybody's like, I am not about whataboutism, but I think that is. I feel there is definitely racism in the mix. Like, yes, he brought this on himself, and there should be individual responsibility. I still want to know why, because it still blows my mind. Like, okay, got caught. I can deal with that. I would like to know why, because maybe that has something to do with it, because it doesn't make sense, because your career was thriving. Yeah. Right? But however, he gets hit in a way where he will do more time if he's convicted of any of this stuff than the people who attacked him. If he had been assaulted, they wouldn't have got hit like this. They wouldn't have got hit with no 16 of anything.
It would have been like 3, maybe hate crime, aggravated assault, and maybe
being that they had murder or something like that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've been big. But the idea, I was like, it was growing.
And my thing is, honestly, he don't need to really go to jail. Just pay the money that.
Right. I'd be fine with fine.
Because I'm like, you didn't
hurt anybody.
You hurt your own career.
He hurt himself the most.
The only person that got hurt was his career.
Him. And I can see, like, it's like people who if you start a fire, like, you might end up doing some time if like somebody gets hurt. But if it's usually just property damage, you gonna get hit.
It's more of a fine thing.
And the fines are phenomenal.
Yeah.
You're talking, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, like
real money
and stuff like that. So I'm like, find them and go on by your business. Why put dude in jail for something that nobody was actually physically hurt in?
Yeah,
I don't get that. Not even.
But
Jesse, apparently.
Jesse we'll see him again. Jesse will disappear for a couple. So? He'll disappear for a couple years and then be on something like Big Brother or something like that.
I mean, that kind of stuff. But he'll be
like Flavor Jesse. A whole bunch of dudes.
I don't know.
With like coconut oil on their chest.
I'm so ready to forgive and forget. I want him back. ASAP.
Yo, you can't. It's like you can't bring him back without being like, but dude, why?
Exactly. You gotta answer that question.
Like, I'm glad you're in this new movie, but why did you do that?
It's like you did an interview with Robin. I forget her last name.
Robin Wright. No, not Robin Wright. That's the House of Cards lady. Robin. I don't know, the Robin lady. She on ABC or something. ABC or NBC. One of them C's.
And we know she's not the same as Gail.
Yes, we know it's not Gail.
That was another thing that came out of these two very
people thought it was the same woman?
Yeah, they totally mixed them up. And I forget what mainstream news they
Robin is on NBC and Gail is on CBS.
Yeah.
So if one is Good Morning America and one is CBS Good Morning or something.
Right. And I was just like, why? I have such, but that's the struggle. So that's what he's going through.
He'll be all right. He'll live. He'll be all right.
He did. I did look up something, and he appeared to like his first day in court to do the what do you plead thing, and of course he pleaded not guilty. He walked in like looking real smooth. I'm like, dude, really? I don't know if that was the energy I would want to come in. Like, he looked real good. I was
he came in like,
aviators, coat. It was like GQ. I'm like, nah, dude.
It's like, nah, you're on this side. You're not. No, see, you're the defendant.
So I'm gonna be interested. I'm gonna be interested in what evidence they have against them, and like what that story is, because that's if they're going, hey, the chief of police overstepped and said a lot of stuff that wasn't true, or he was like speculating at some point, like he was saying they had more than they actually had, because that's what the FBI came in and said.
And see, you got the FBI involved, dude.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
it's a real thing.
It's so bad. So anyway.
Oh, sorry. Arcatron, thank you. Robin Roberts, thank you. I knew it wasn't.
Yeah, Robin Roberts. How can you not?
Sorry, I know her name is Robin.
Robin Roberts.
You ain't know either. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't.
But all right, so we're gonna pass that. Now we're up to some newer news. This week, you sent me that Nate Dogg, his passing came
right.
This week,
his passing. Being that we on the West Coast, I thought we should make mention of it.
One of the most hook singingest artists. Like he's sung for everybody. He's sung for everybody. Like a lot of people know him for like Snoop.
Gangsta cooner. I love that aspect of Nate Dogg.
Hey.
Right.
Smoke weed every day.
Like he gonna sing these songs. He gonna give you.
But it's smooth though.
It was real smooth.
It was
nobody else was really doing it at the time.
You're right. It's like you took a jazz singer, but was like
talking about hoes.
Can you do like 10 years in jail and then come out and start singing?
Remember back on the East Side.
Yo, but I mean, he sung. If you know what, I'll say this: if Mary J is the queen of hip hop R&B, Nate Dogg could be the king.
Of what?
I guess hip hop R&B. Well, I mean, he never really did an album though.
Look, he has albums.
Sorry, he does have albums, but he never really came out as a solo artist like that. He mostly just did collaborative projects, but his collaborative projects were so well known. Like every hook he sung, you'd be like,
I think he does have songs he's done by himself, but he is like
he's well known.
He's a much more okay. I don't want to play it like that. Wait a minute.
He's like that. Formulate.
I want to scorch the art. Okay. I like French Montana songs.
Oh boy.
He's a guy that doesn't seem like he can do solo projects.
No.
It's like every time you hear a lit song by French Montana, it's like featuring so and so.
Yeah. It's like French and 6 other dudes.
Exactly. So I'm sure he has songs by himself, but those are not the ones you remember. Whoa, no, that's not true. The one we wasn't supposed to listen to when we were a kid. And that's Nate Dogg by himself. When I met you last night, baby.
Yo.
We all sing that song when they come on, and we ain't supposed to.
And as kids, that's probably the only line we could sing. Because after that, the rest of the song is like, even the things he's saying, even if he's not cussing, the things he's saying before you open up
before you
open up your gap.
I have respect for you, lady.
No, you don't.
Okay. Now I take it all back.
Yo, it's so sweet. Yo, it is so smooth. Cause you be like, you know what? This guy's got something. But it's supposed to sing it now. It's smooth. So much trouble. It's laid back.
I
but
love
it also
singing that song at karaoke though.
He was doing. They have that karaoke.
Guys be like, I remember we used to go to this like dive bar, and the guy would just he'd sit back and look at us like when we were in college.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, this ain't right.
See, me and you, we gotta go do some karaoke. But all right, Thomas D, he's in the chat. What up, y'all? Alan Lewis says Nate Dogg will always live in our little 90s G-Funk hearts. Yo, like Nate Dogg had Regulators. If we was Mariah and Ja Rule, and you can't deny it, classics. Yeah, like
like we said, we just a lot of them were
collaborative energy was so
he can take us on to the next level, because if you take him out, I don't want to listen to the song.
Yo,
like Regulators, yes, you have Warren G doing the bars, but without the parts where Nate Dogg comes in,
you can go to pretty much, I'll say this, any black area. I'll say this because I can't guarantee it for the Asians or something. But you go anywhere with black and you be like, hold up. Everybody knows that. Everybody like, hey. Everybody knows what's coming up next.
You can call it out a window and everybody be like, hey.
And then
hold up.
They're them people that be thinking we soft. It's like he's smooth. Did he just call
like,
people
girl,
out?
remember 21 questions? It's easy to love me now.
Yeah. Yo.
But you still have love. I mean, what he
Nate
did, he did it well. So he had a lot of hits.
Yeah. And before y'all come in the chat, I don't want to hear nothing about Devin the Dude. All right. So I don't want to hear nothing. I like Devin the Dude, but he ain't on that level. Nate Dogg just
I'm not familiar. I'm gonna have to look up this Devin the Dude guy.
Devin the Dude is like,
is he trash or he just not as good as Nate Dogg?
He's not as good as Nate Dogg, but he's funny.
Okay.
Because he did Sex Faces, man. It's a song called Sex Faces. Look on YouTube, Tila, Sex Faces, Devin the Dude sings the hook. It's a bad song, but it's also a great song. But anyway, moving on. We're staying on the West Coast.
Yeah.
You sent me that Once Upon a Time at LBC with Snoop sold out in less than an hour.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of going to that, and I was like,
no, you wasn't.
I guess
nope. Because that was like,
clink. And I was like, I mean, Snoop is hot. Period. He's a very hot and in-demand performer. People, I think he keeps a low profile nowadays, and people don't understand or are unaware.
Yeah.
Just like anytime he's in something hot, it's going to be fire. It's going to sell. But I think it would sell out within an hour. Like,
yeah,
I was like, and it's in Long Beach. I was ready to go to Long Beach to see Snoop Dogg like that.
That let you know how much, how much pull he still has.
Right, because he's from LBC, so North Long Beach. So I was like, I thought that was
when you
cool.
think about
I shared it more like, man, look at this shit. I can't go to this concert. That's the vein it was shared in.
Yo, but Once Upon a Time at LBC, you know what I'm saying? So I mean,
that's gonna be lit now because weed's legal. You ain't gonna be able to breathe in that mug.
If you don't smoke, don't go to that.
Don't go to that. If you're not at least
you gonna end up dead.
Exactly. You're looking for like contact. You only got hey, if you lightweight, you don't even have to buy nothing. You just go. Now, Alan Lewis put in "It's So Cold in the D." Have you please tell me I've sent you that before. It's a song. It's so cold in the D. It's bad, but it's great. I have not heard "Cold in the D," but I've heard other people do that. It's so cold in the A. It's so cold. Like a reference. So I guess that's the original. I guess that's a reference to that.
Yes,
because I've definitely heard people say like the A, the LBC, the like. So that's where it's from.
It's bad, but it's also a great song because it's so bad. It's like a little story about, it's wintertime, but it's also cold in the D because people be getting killed and shot in the streets.
Oh, it's robin season. Unfortunately.
Robin season. Yo,
that's something we never talked about.
Don't get caught at Mrs. Winters.
When that news dropped that season 3 is like delayed.
Oh yeah, because
miss the whole.
Everybody getting paid.
Well, they said a lot of things are going on with Donald Glover, and then the audience.
Like, negative things or just like
negative things, like because he hurt himself and then his father passed.
Oh snap! Yeah.
So
I completely forgot about the injury because you told me about that like a month or so ago or something like that.
No, that happened like September because I had a whole plan.
Really? I feel like it was recent.
We ended up not talking about this. I was going to talk about it when I came back, like my glorious return from the Bay, and it didn't happen because old dude broke his foot like a couple of days before the concert was supposed to go down.
Oh man,
yeah, and I was like, dang. So I could have gotten it in LA, but no, I was going to take my ass to Oakland because one. I'm single, I'm ready to mingle.
And 2,
Oakland. And, he has much love for Oakland, so I thought it would be a bomb-ass show. And I was able to get the seats I wanted. Because they weren't trying to do any front row seats. The bots had gotten all the front row seats here in LA. And I guess people don't think about Oakland in that same sense. The tickets are easier to resell here in LA than they are Oakland. I did observe that. But I got like really bomb seats in Oakland. And so I was like, all right, Airbnb, I'm going to go over here and Mac at some honeys. Because, I have a good, Oakland women are beautiful.
She in them streets,
I'm out
she
here.
In them streets.
Not all of us can be married and stuff,
Holla at her. She in them streets.
So I was going to make a whole weekend. I had a whole weekend.
Yeah, because I remember you playing that joint.
I was flying up there because I was like, I'm not going to drive. Because usually I drive because I can get from here to Oak to the Bay. Like, I've done it in 5.5.
Wow.
Just like.
She moving.
People be talking about 8 hours. I'm like, why? How? What you doing? You stopping?
Well, yeah, because I remember.
I think I stopped once just to tinkle and I keep it going.
Yeah, because like Richmond to Atlanta is supposed to be an 8-hour drive. and I made it there in like 7 with an hour break that I took.
Oh, okay.
Like I drove 4 hours, stopped, took an hour break, chill, walking around, stretch my legs, still made it in 7.
Right. I was like, what other people be doing? Like,
what y'all doing?
I was like, man, I hit it, and then I just like put it on cruise control, and we.
But look, let me tell y'all, all of y'all East Coasters, if y'all want to hit 85 and get down to ATL real fast, just get on the road at like 4, 5 a.m.
You have to do it in the morning.
Get
That's
on
what
the road,
I do.
like,
if I'm driving up there, I leave no later than 5 a.m.
Alan Lewis says, remember Scarlett Takes a Tumble, classic YouTube moments. Yo, all right. So Scarlett Takes a Tumble. Let me set this up for y'all.
I don't know.
If y'all haven't seen it, y'all on YouTube, y'all can always search it out. She's like standing on this table and she's like singing. Is this black girl and she's like, I really love you, I miss you, or whatever. And the table like flips, right?
What?
All right? And it's like kadoosh. And her feet go straight up in the air.
No, is she okay?
I mean, yeah, she kind of made it. I mean, she ain't dead, but I mean, you can tell she was a little woozy. She was a little woozy on it. But I mean, she made it.
Okay.
But classic YouTube moments like that, yeah.
Anyway,
Thomas D said that table was like, I had enough. On the real though, straight up, I kind of want that table because that table's sturdy. Because she wasn't just like standing on it petite. She was just like moving and dancing to the beat and everything, and then just swoosh. Because she stepped too far forward. And then they were like, slick it.
It's like the leverage. Just physics took a hold.
Yeah, it was like
the world of physics.
Yeah, but the table was still strong, man.
It was like if you tilt it, it will fall.
I don't know why
if
she
you tilt it,
it
would flip.
Yeah, like I still don't understand why she needed to stand on the table. Now that I think about it, it's like you could have just sung the song. I guess the table added.
She wanted a stage.
There you go. All right, so you also sent me. This is a small one, but I thought it was weird, and other people do too. Those butterflies swarming through California are painted ladies, not monarchs.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference, but I know it was a gang of butterflies, son. We are being invaded. I was like, this is a true invasion.
They're a whole different color, though. Monarchs are blue, and painted ladies are orange.
Yo.
So my mom is a butterfly lady, just so y'all know.
Thomas D said Thanos snapped his fingers.
Because that's what it looks like. It looks like we're missing some people. We don't really check your families.
Check
all your peeps. Because clearly somebody's missing.
Oh man.
But yeah, this is something that normally happens actually every year in LA, and it hadn't for the last couple of 5-7 years because of drought. So you need like the flowers and everything like that for the butterflies to survive.
We got some decent amount of rain.
Decent. Sometimes you could go outside.
Well, they said we're still technically in a drought.
They just cleared the state.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, you know what? Good on you, California.
Yeah.
Good on you.
There's no drought anywhere in California with some very their thing is it's less than 1%. There's a few slivers.
Well, you know what? Good on you, California.
But it's the first time in many years where California has no drought. 2 years of rain can do that. But we went
drink.
Yeah, exactly. When like depending on like the severity, how you qualify drought, it was for like 5 or 7 years, and that can affect a lot of things. From your fires. That's why the fires were so severe. True. To your animals and your spring bloom ain't really blooming because there ain't no spring.
Because you don't have any butterflies
the water
pollinating and having
exactly.
I don't know, butterfly sex and making butterflies. I don't know.
Me and my mom used to go out to different places to appreciate the butterflies, and then that stopped after a while when the drought hit. We used to have El Nino. El Nino, you needed like a canoe to get around when El Nino was hitting. When we had El Nino like every other year, I always wished I had a boat.
El Nino.
That's what it was called. So it's some kind of
I remember, but it's
piña.
just mad funny.
Or El Nina.
Yeah, but it's mad funny because it sounds like a dude's actually rolling up. But I mean, it's the same thing when they name hurricanes.
Right.
It's like, Luke coming up the coast. It's like Luke.
He causing all kinds of damage.
Yeah, man, he tearing all kinds of homes up.
Exactly. You're like, why don't they stop him? I'm like, no, the hurricane, dude.
Thomas, you wrong. Thomas in the chat talking about that table is on disability. Y'all foul. Y'all foul. But it's dope. The drought is over.
Right.
We got butterflies back. Y'all got the wrong butterflies, but it's still good to have butterflies. Oh, you know what I'm saying? We got TV and stuff. Don't worry about all that.
I was trying to get in the comments, and that did not happen smoothly.
Now, we do have a little bit of relationship. You know what I'm saying? I try not to get into this all the time, but we got some E-News status type stuff. It was confirmed that Rosario Dawson is dating.
I thought that
Cory
was
Booker.
funny, though. I thought that was funny. And I thought it was funny because they were making memes, and they were like, well, he does kind of look like Dom.
Oh.
So that's probably why I was more amused by it.
Yo, tell me every brother wasn't like, okay.
So I had a chance.
Okay.
I feel like when you have like average Joes, like
because Cory
ain't ugly,
it's not
he's like decent round the way dude. So it makes you feel like you had a chance.
Yeah, it makes you feel like when Jermaine Dupri got like
with Janet Jackson, I heard every guy.
Hold up.
Well, I guess I had a chance.
Maybe I should have invited her to coffee or something.
I should have took that shot.
Yeah, should have been like. So Cory Booker, he's running for president. You know what I'm saying? It'll be you know what? Technically, if they get married, Rosario Dawson, if he wins, could be the first lady. That would be interesting. That'd be kind of cool, I guess. But this is a message to all y'all brothers out there and ladies too. Don't let the celebrity fool you. I mean, take a shot, man. Never know.
I mean, that's what you call it.
Look, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And, why do you think Kobe made so much? Because he shot a lot, man. You gotta, when you go outside, just be like, cut out. Now, I'm not saying be disrespectful, but just be like, and just see. I mean, you gonna hit some bricks, but then you gonna make some too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Kobe would make like 40 points a game, right? But he didn't make all the shots. You know what I'm saying? He shoot a whole bunch, but then only make 40 points. So if you try to make 40 points in your relationship life, take a shot.
Yeah. What you said?
See? Relationship knowledge.
No, I was
right
listening
here.
to an interview with Erica Badu, and she was like, that's she was saying. She was like, they're like, oh, would you be open to women? And she's like, dang, but they don't hit on me. So they don't be trying. So I mean, and I was like, oh, for real? We can take that shot? I'm trying to get elevated. Y'all scared of the Erica Badu, what she does for you.
Nah. Raphael Sadiq made it. I'm paraphrasing, but Raphael Sadiq said something about
take it to the next level. I'm ready.
She said
ready to transition.
Raphael Sadiq said something about her being like her eyes being hypnotized. He's like, I don't mess with that girl. Look,
I'm ready.
Hey, don't
let me fall into the hip. So just take me.
Nah, don't look. Watch yourself. Don't look. I want to save you.
My dashiki is gonna be on point.
Look, when she come up in this joint and she be like, "Yo, Hitler was an alright guy," I'll be like,
"Terrible." I'm thinking about the old Erica Badu.
Oh, you talking about the old Erica
Badu?
Mama's gun.
Like exactly. When she was taking Andre 3000 and taking him to the next level of consciousness.
All right, cool.
Electronica,
cool.
Those are the people I'm talking about.
All right. Well, old Erica. All right, well, we get you that. Thomas D said everybody can't be Jordan. That's true. Oh man. Alan Lewis says Erica Badu, aka Voodoo Bean-Headed Bag Lady. Yo, you wrong, man.
I thought you would be all for Erica. She says the same type of nonsense he does. You never know with Max. He just
no, that's Alan Lewis, not
okay,
Max.
Okay.
Not Max Evans.
Okay.
But Alan, all right,
that makes sense.
Erica has done some stuff in recent years that I've been like, but
no, definitely she's done some stuff where I'm like, well, you know what?
I guess I give her some props.
I still love her, but I can't go to no more concerts because I went to her concert and that chick took 3 hours to show up, and I was like, I was real cool.
Erica, all right. Now you know what? I'll say this.
Real cool.
What is it? Here's my thing with artists showing up late to performances. And I know this sounds weird, but I've seen, and I know they're not the same artist, but I've seen the Roots 3 times or something like that, maybe 4. But the Roots start on time all the time. And it's 5 of them. All right. So there is no excuse, Robin Thicke, which I went to see one time. Dude was 2.5 hours late. There's no excuse.
Like it's solo artists that tend to do it the most too. It's
I'm like, how
like
you get a whole group to start off? Like,
band show up on
every
time
I've seen the Roots, if the ticket says 10 o'clock, 10:01, they're like doom 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 doom, like like you don't never see. And Questlove be like, you know what I'm saying, 10 o'clock on the dot, never change. But it'd be a solo artist, be like, yo, 10 o'clock. No, they really mean 1.
Right.
And stop doing this on weekdays when you know people got to go to work.
Right.
Because they planning in their head like, all right, 10 o'clock. All right, we're gonna get a little DJ, a little intermission. She'll probably come on like 10:30. She's gonna do like an hour, maybe hour and a half set.
I didn't even I'll be home maybe 1 because I had heard that she'd be a little bit late, and she was a whole lot late that night.
Man,
I was like, I didn't even come until an hour after the show was supposed to start, and still had to wait around for an hour or 2.
Yo,
and I was like, girl, I'm good. And it was good. She was good. Don't get me wrong. She's great. She was fabulous once she got there and started doing her thing. And then she's like, oh, we gotta go, y'all. They're telling us we gotta go because you were late.
You was late.
You was hella late. Like, you was so late until you hit the cutoff, which is like midnight for LA Live. Because it's like downtown.
Yo, look,
and I was
man. Look. I'm gonna say
no
this.
acknowledgement either. No, sorry, I was late, y'all.
I'm gonna say this.
Anything.
Saw Jill Scott. She was on time.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna go to a Jill Scott concert the next time. I need some powerful blow me away vocals.
Yo, and I'm just take you a date. That's all I'm gonna say. Because Jill Scott tees you up. If you mess it up, it's your fault. Because a Jill Scott show is romance all the way through there. So you got
you can't seal the deal. That was you, my guy.
Just don't have an argument in the car on the way home. All right, that's all I can say. If she says anything in the car, be like, good point.
Just leg out. You have to make choices. What are your priorities for that evening? Plan correctly. All right. What else we got?
All right, we got Candace Owens influenced me above all. The New Zealand.
This is what I shared with you because I couldn't so there's this New Zealand shooter, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, because we got to kind of run that back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well,
it's spreading, unfortunately, and despite him being a whole nother country, he was pointing how great Trump is.
Yeah,
and he looks to Candace and says, she inspired me. I was like, that's BS. You're white supremacist. You're really just gassing people up, and I think that's why I shared it with you because I thought it was such BS. That this dude inspired her. I was like, no, you're just putting that on like a black woman. So you think it's funny. Yeah. I think what they need to do, I think this was like the third thing he has said where it's like it strikes up and you're like, what did he just say?
Yeah. It's like Candace Owens. Yeah. I'm sure mad people was like, who's Candace Owens?
Right. That
Candace Owens probably got searched up mad hard.
Exactly. Like my searches are going up. And then he said, he praised PewDiePie, YouTuber.
Of course.
And of course, PewDiePie had to come out and say, "Oh my God, I'm disgusted."
Like yo, I ain't got nothing
to do with that. And I feel like
because he's already had his problem.
Right. I feel like this dude is like mad trolling us, and I'm like, don't do a repeat with Trump where you want to publish every word this dude says because he's clearly just fucking with us. Yeah. So I was like, nah, kind of just state the facts on him and his case as like facts come out and not necessarily what he's saying. I don't think there's any value in what he's saying because it's like everything he says is just stirring the pot and keeping attention on himself because he did this supposedly to start a civil war, not in New Zealand, in the US. Yeah. So I don't know how that was supposed to work, but I was like, logic might have saved a whole bunch of people's lives because I was like, dude, that was never going to happen. But 40 people lost their lives and a lot more people were injured due to this complete trash human being, if you call him a human being.
Because you've got a lot of things, like you got the whole thing in Australia. Then
you have the senator who's like, well, Muslims existing brought this upon themselves. Yeah. And we're like, come on, really? Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's like,
it's not like, it's so hard. Like, I think somebody said this on my timeline. They were like, you can be angry, but you're not surprised.
Yeah,
you're no less angry, but you're not surprised. Like this.
Yeah, it's more of like an annoyed eye roll than being like truly angry
right.
anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm angry because it's foul shit.
Well,
it's super foul shit.
But it's like you just.
But
it's like
if you allowed it to like just take you out, or you go out and like be upset, like physically upset, you'd be sick all the time.
It drives you crazy.
It drives you crazy because it was just.
Yeah. So
and their logic was tough. Ooh, so rough.
With that, so all of this is kind of swirling around at the same time. So Donald Trump, you sent me the article where Donald Trump then said, I don't really see a rise.
I don't see an uptick in white supremacists, white nationalists. I mean,
you don't, just because you don't see it. All right. For example, now, I don't see cars, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. They're outside driving around. They're doing things. All right. Just because I don't see trees right now doesn't mean trees aren't growing and there's squirrels and stuff crawling around.
That was his response to this news.
I don't really see it. You don't have to see it for it to be
one,
real.
you don't have to see it, and two, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like, so I was like, it's clearly increasing. It's increased from the moment he like started running, even before he clinched the presidency. It was on the rise. Then he got the presidency, he continued to rise. So he doesn't need to see it for it to be true. One and two, I'm not 100% certain that he doesn't see it, but he does lie to himself.
Maybe he doesn't. Well, I'll give this. Maybe you don't see it because white nationalism will never be aimed at you. See, remember, you're the winner in white nationalism, so you don't see it.
I get your
Black
logic.
people would see it.
I get your logic, but it's not the same thing as racism.
Well, yeah, true.
Because nationalism is very visible. Like you see them, they do parades. They circulate flyers. They come to your doorstep if you're white, trying to recruit you. Like, hey, we're the neo-Nazis. Is your son home?
Hi, we're the
exactly. That kind of thing. So I feel like they've definitely felt emboldened to make their presence known. That was what Charlottesville was all about. Was all about. Somebody died because he decided to run protesters over.
Literally ran into like multiple protesters.
People. So he injured a lot of people and then he killed one.
Yeah.
So to sit here and be like, no, I don't see anything,
And I know this sounds bad, but I think the only reason it mattered the way it did is because of who died. And I know that sounds bad, but I think
it's not bad. That's true. It's truth. You can just document it. You can go back. If that was some
little black girl that died, because when the white girl died, they had literal FBI made a statement about. I'm like, yo, they ain't playing on this joint. Right. They mad about this.
He went to jail with the swiftness.
Yeah.
There was no like argument. Oh, well, she shouldn't have been out there. The only people who were giving you that argument, because the difference is there's a shift.
Yeah.
If it had been someone, of color, I feel there'd be more people, like your normal everyday people talking about they shouldn't have, they could have did this, did that. It shifted it where you had to be more radical, more to the right.
Yeah. Because this was a good, upstanding white citizen.
Exactly. So your flyover states are so quick to go, oh, well, they shouldn't did this and they could have did that. Yeah. They're like, oh, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
That's like my
neighbor. That looks like my niece or my neighbor or whatever.
Oh, this is terrible. And then only the really shitty, like my racism is, I let that badge.
Yeah.
I wear that on the outside. I'm going to let you know. Those are the people who are like, well, she still ain't shit.
Yeah.
Stuff. And people forget, like, there's a lot of, like, hatred for women in the KKK, in neo-Nazis, because Aryan nations, because they believe your job is to be at home popping out babies. That's what a lot of white women don't get that keep voting for these mofos. It's like, you working outside the home, you got a doctorate, you try to be an independent woman. Exactly. And it's not like I'm going to take care of you. I don't want you to work, but I'm not saying I'm going to take care of you either. Nah. We're going to live real hard.
Yeah, we're going to live hard.
It's hard.
But it's so I can feel good about living hard.
Exactly. But you can't go out. Don't let you to be the person with a degree, because I watch documentaries like that. I'll be like, they are living so hard. But they're like, well,
living hard.
They'll be like, so-and-so doesn't want me to like go out and get a job, because that's the man. So then it's like, well, he needs to get his ass up and together and go out and make it happen. And yeah, so
don't
It was like
not here.
Exactly.
Not here.
If you're gonna be like all about that, then you need to be about that life. But there's a lot of people. I mean, in general, I think when you get into like, the men activists and these people who like want to return to a day of old where women knew their place. I say at no time do they talk about stepping up to the plate and understanding what that's going to cost them to do. Like their freedoms are going to be
also. And I'm cool. Here's my thing. If we want to do that, fine. But let's apply this flatly. Not only women knew their place, men knew their place. I knew men that were from that generation that would walk to work at 4 a.m. Your butt want to take off when your car breaks down and you got the train, the bus, the taxi, the Uber.
Right.
Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that. If you want to be a real man, then be a real man. But don't be telling women to be real women and then you want to be all soft and everything. I'm just saying, like my grandfather and many men like him would walk to the factory and work for 16 hours and walk home. Are you going to do that? Your soft butt sitting at a cubicle talking about, oh, when is lunch? You just got there. Right. All right? Shut up. All right? That's what I'm saying.
I was like, they don't want the hard life. They really romanticize.
Yeah, it's like they forget all the tough stuff.
That was rough, y'all. Nobody wants to go back to that. The people who think they want to go back to that, because even conservatives who be like, well, they want to go to their vote. Oh, when they used to do 70% of the 1%, or like the 60s where it was 90%. Oh, you want to go back to that? No. I just want to bring back, discrimination.
Yeah,
racism.
I really want.
That's all they really want.
I just want to bring back white supremacy.
White supremacy, male supremacy.
Yeah,
I just want to bring back all that hateful oppression shit and all the other shit that happened to exist. Not understanding that if economically there were better things, is because everybody was pulling their weight.
Yeah.
You don't have middle to poor working class people paying more in tax than your 1%ers. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, and that's why the economy was healthy, not because of all the bullshit we were doing to each other socially.
And there were less concessions for corporations as well.
Right.
So
corporate welfare is way worse than any kind of social welfare.
That's why when people be
talking about we need to get rid of these food stamps. No, what we really need to get rid of.
Didn't we just have a Hunger Games for who wasn't going to tax Amazon?
Right.
You don't get on my face.
Right. Exactly. $1 billion company. And you won't tax them because you like, well, we need these jobs, and you're like, they're gonna be so good. Like, are they though? Like, how many of the jobs are going to be like?
We just saw Amazon employees,
right,
straight up strike,
right,
internationally,
right. And you're trying to tell me that the jobs are going. That's exactly where I was going with this. I was like, Seattle is talking about their shitty employers, but you want to jump hoops, give them all kinds of breaks because they're going to bring these shitty jobs to New York, which is way more expensive than Seattle.
Thank you.
So I'm going to get this job and then realize I got to get another job because they're not paying as well as they said they were going to pay. And you can't get it in writing. You can't guarantee that the jobs you're doing are going to be those type of high tier jobs where we can live. And dude. And we're giving you crazy. Why? You need this business or nah? You forget that somebody was pointing it out. I was listening to the radio. I was listening to like one of the public radio stations, and she was like, people forget like why is that a lot of times companies, they couldn't have built their company anywhere else but here.
Yeah.
Or even if they could have, they still built it here. They still used a lot of public resources to get that. Yeah. She was like pointing out like all the infrastructure.
The infrastructure
that gets paid by
the government made for them.
Everybody else pays. Yeah. Everybody else pays. It's not the government.
Well, yeah, because the government is essentially the collection of our money.
Exactly. It should be like
my money, her money, your money, person across the street money, right. the lady that teaching the kids money.
You use the infrastructure of this country to get on,
to blow up,
get your business on.
And then you don't want to pay your fair share.
Exactly. Nobody's saying you can't have money, you can't be rich, you can't go out and live your best life and do decadent shit. I'm just saying when it comes to, because I'm about Dice, baby. I support it.
She said decadent shit.
Because I just wanted to be clear, like Berkeley is not trying to raid on anybody's parade.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is pay your fair share of taxes, which
comb
they
your hair,
don't.
Pay your fair.
But you don't gotta come in here, just pay your fair. Like that's what that's my point. Like, well, you're gonna have to have your hygiene together if we gotta share a bus. we really need to get that together. We need to get that together. Like, be considerate of others.
Yes.
And if you don't like the deodorant with the aluminum in it, go find the natural shit.
Go get you some Arm & Hammer. All right, Arm & Hammer. They ain't got no aluminum. At least I don't think. Maybe. Man, I don't know. Look, I mean, that is
mainstream. But there's because I hate like going to like hanging out with woke people, and they're like, well, I just have my natural musk because I don't believe in putting impurities on my body, which is like deodorant and stuff like that. And I always retort.
You see my face? My face be like this.
My face. I'd be so ready so they can finish their BS, and I'd be like,
yo, it's stinking here, man. All right.
But there's natural deodorant though. Have you tried that?
Have you tried that? Can you put something under your arm? Right. Put some mint under your arm. Just put some mint leaves or something.
Dry it out. Do something. Put some baking soda. Bullshit that you funky as hell because you try to be natural.
Put some talcum powder or something. Do something.
Right? I hate BO. That's like that's a pet peeve of mine. You will get talked about, just so you know.
But with that said, guys, it's white nationalism is happening. And since that, I'm glad that you sent me this article because I missed this by Karen Frati, the one that says racism against white people doesn't exist in America, and here's why it never will. It's on Yahoo News. You should check it out. It's essentially kind of going down what we've always said. No other, I guess, group of people wields institutional power. No other group of people will probably ever wield institutional power in this country. And that's okay. My thing is, stop fronting like you're so oppressed. You can't be like, yo, we run this. I'm so hurt.
Because racism is not about hurting your feelings.
I'm so hurt.
It's like it's all about the definition.
It's reverse racism.
It's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
If you have to include the system. It's not about me just disliking you, actually, just because of your color. It's a set up system where
you're confusing prejudice with racism.
Exactly, where I am oppressing you at every turn. I'm cutting your opportunities for housing, employment, loans, business, I am like drilling it in. And what the problem is today is a lot of that system is on autopilot.
Yeah, because it's
already set up.
Yeah, since the first boats came over, there's been a concerted effort, and no other group of people have been subjugated in the way that Black people have in America. Now, I know there are other places, but I'm talking about in this country, no other group of people have seen it how we've seen it. And I do want to touch on reparations real quick, because that's been coming up in recent weeks. You can't repair something that ain't stopped. That's why they don't want to give it to us, because it ain't stopped. See, usually
that's why they didn't have it.
I got other things. Let me hit you with my schematics.
Okay.
One, it ain't stopped. They don't plan to stop it, so they can't repair something that ain't stopped. Two, they know that reparations would fundamentally change the economic status and structure of Black people in this country. They don't want that. They don't want to see that. See, they talk all this mess about, all you do is buy movie tickets and liquor. But then why don't you just give it to us? Because we'll just buy a bunch of movie tickets and liquor, right? No, it's because you know that we are intelligent enough, we're smart enough to fund our own projects, fund our own businesses, fund our own real estate company, fund this, that, the third, and then be on a level playing field with you. And you don't want that, because you know Black people are just as smart as you are. Black people are just as capable as you are. But through Jim Crow, through slavery, through the New Deal redlining, through all this stuff, you have subjugated us. And if you gave it back and put us on fair ground, you're like, oh snap, we can't compete with that. Why? Because we have to buy our kids' way into school. We'll touch on that later. Don't worry about that. But that's why we ain't getting it. It ain't because it's so hard to figure out. You got Bernie saying like, well, how will we do it? It's not that hard. It ain't hard to figure out.
I mean,
I figured it out earlier this week.
As far as the money goes, y'all fund a lot of expensive ads. Like if this was something y'all thought y'all needed,
they came up with a TARP bailout so fast,
right?
Man, y'all came out with that bailout money so quick,
and that was so much money. I mean, yeah, and the number only gets high. I always maintain like they need to do it soon because the number's only going to get higher.
Yeah,
but no, I agree with some of that. I think even with money though, we have to understand like the money. If it came in money, that'd be one thing. Because people are like trying to argue, that maybe it should come to us in different ways other than just money. But I still think at the end of the day, even with wealth being handed to us, let's just say wealth, so it's not just reduced to money. If you actually want to do the land thing, this is all based on the idea you're supposed to get your 40 acres and a mule,
which was promised,
and it never happened. So that's why reparations is such a thing, because it was like y'all reneged on this after saying y'all was gonna do it, and we want what's ours.
And I worked it out. I worked out 40 acres and a mule. 40 acres, an acre of good land in America is around $6,300. I kicked it up because they owe, so I kicked it up to about $7,500. Now, there's no such thing as, there's mules, but nobody use mules no more. So a mule is essentially a work truck. So how much does an F-250 cost? A decent F-250 is running you about $50,000. After everything is said and done, 40 times this, work truck, all that, every Black American should be getting approximately $350,000 to $400,000. Now, doesn't sound like a lot, right? But when you say this household is now getting 2-3 checks, this household is getting 2, and then say you and I link on something, and those people link on something, that's why they don't want it. You think we can't have our own grocery stores? Of course we can. But they keep us locked away from the money. You think we can't have our own movie theaters? Of course we can. They keep us locked from the money. You think we can't have our own distribution? Of course we can. But they keep us locked away from the money. And that's what this is about. They're like, oh, we can't figure it out. Dude, I figured it out in like 30 seconds. I was like, 40 acres of mule. How much does an acre of land cost? All right, times that by 40. Cool. A mule doesn't, there's mules, but nobody uses them. What was the mule of the day? Oh, it's a work truck. Cool. How much does a work truck cost? It's not hard to figure out. It's not. Now, of course, a lot of people want to talk about prison pipeline. I assume that that's never going to stop, but I figure the money will help shield us like it shields other rich people from those issues, because we will start to create our own communities and distance ourselves from the general oppression that's never going to stop.
That doesn't work for rich people of today.
Rich people still get a lot of consent. They go to court, but they still. It's like you wealthy. Did something. It's like
we are always saying that about Black people who are wealthy. True. That they forget that they're Black, and then when that shit hits them.
Yeah, I'm not saying that will never be. I'm not saying we'll never go to jail.
It happens all the time where you have a Black person who thought they could do what they were doing because they were hanging out with their rich white friends. They rich, and then shit hits the fan. And everybody's getting off except for them.
I will give you that. But in the same statement, poverty breeds crime.
Right.
That's why they keep us in poverty, because they know it breeds crime. If we're not steeped in poverty the way we are, we will be less prone to crime because we won't need that.
I never liked that saying because I think it's too simplistic.
Well, because for the purposes of a show that we're trying to wrap up in, like,
I know. Well, but it's problematic saying, because if it's, to me, it sounds like, oh, you're poor, you're more likely to do crime, and I was like, and that's just totally disregarding all the white collar crime that usually scores more than anything that happens in the hood. Okay. Plus, then, you still to eat because you can't get food. Yeah. There's not services. There's no safety nets. You don't have the work. The opportunities for jobs are not there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's part of it.
That's what that's.
Yeah, I'm saying that's part of it. Like, they give us the worst schools, they give us the worst living conditions, they give us the worst of everything, and then be like, oh, look at how they're looking. Well, if we have money, then less of us will have the worst of that, and then it'll be like, oh, so Black people aren't just criminals by nature. Oh, so someone's been serving a story. Someone's been serving a narrative, because there's been studies done. Black kids from like middle class areas with 2-parent homes do just as good as white kids, Asian kids, Hawaiian kids, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a situation where like, oh, Black people just like doing crime. It's like, no, we force them into a situation where they feel they have no options. And then money gives you that freedom. Money allows you to buy back your time. Money gives you that option. But I know we ain't gonna get it. Well, you never know. We might get it, but I know for now, I don't think we get it. But my thing is, But my thing is this: acting like you can't figure it out, that's BS. I just figured it out. Now, should 350,000 be the number? I don't know. Should 400K be the number? I don't know. But I know I figured it out.
Right.
It wasn't hard.
I mean,
because Bernie Sanders was on TV like, does anybody have a calculator?
Yeah, his whole
I don't know I don't know how to do this.
To be economy, but I was like, I guess that's always like I think a clink in his armor is that the racial, despite him saying, I walked with Martin Luther King and I was a part of people who went down to the South. And anytime you bring up race, he wants to, give you. He wants to give you
like the
stats.
But when you ask him to do something, it's like the all lives matter thing.
Exactly. And so I was like, that was killing me. Like when I call you on race, you want to give me your stats and all the stuff you did, 40 years, 50 years ago.
But what are you doing today?
What are you doing now? And anytime I seem to ask you about a racial issue now, you ain't got an answer. But you have all this supposed training and experience, and this is the ultimate problem with allies, is that they choke.
And it's the problem.
It's not like easy work because you get black people who choke.
And this is not to become the hotepish. Please don't. But honestly, like I said, Malcolm X made a very adept statement about white liberals long ago. That still applies. Mm-hmm. It's like, they ain't really trying to help us. It's cool to hang with us. Mm-hmm. But then when you be like, what about reparations? What does that mean? Okay, to repair. Let's start right there. Now, since we've done it before, Mr. Bernie Sanders, I assume you know what reparations is, but that means that the government did something. And since they did something to say, man, we can't fix it, but here's the best we can do. Here's a monetary contribution. It's all good, especially since he was part of the people that went to France to get more reparations for Jewish people. Like, dude, don't act like, my issue is acting like you don't know what it is. Like, he literally said, well, what does that mean? To repair. Let's start right there.
Yeah, well, we got it. He doesn't know what it means.
Like, come on, bro.
He's not going to get it.
And then there's other people that have kind of like went the route of like, well, maybe we can find other ways or do something for all people. They got nothing about all people.
Right.
It's about black people. And the funny thing is,
it's okay to have like times when we talk specifically about our issues.
Yeah.
And what's affecting us. Like there is nothing wrong with that because every other group does it.
Thank you.
And like while we do have similarities, I'm always somebody who's cool with embracing what makes us different. Not in a way that's going to keep me apart, but like acknowledging, accepting what makes us different. So we can go on and work through that and get to the common ground. But we always like, well, don't focus on what makes us different, but like what makes us different is what's hurting us. That's what's hurting me, or my community. Is what makes us different is what's hurting us. And so if you dismissing it in the many, many different ways they do. And, one difference is like our hair. And so I sent you this article about
in New York.
It's here. It's in Hollywood. This is totally a Hollywood thing.
Oh, word? Oh, okay.
I remember her name because she has 3 names. I think it was like Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yeah.
She was Shirley from Community, for all the people who watch Community.
Yeah.
And so she's one of a few people who've been leading the charge in this. And this is something I have heard about off and on for years. Especially if you're wearing your hair in any kind of natural style, locks or anything like that, or
locks,
just like
braids,
a twist out.
Or,
if you don't have your hair straightened, you're wearing a weave. So a lot
it's not professional. It's not
black people,
together or whatever.
Have to show up. Well, a lot of black women, I should say, because there's not a lot of, this is not as common for black men. Even in Hollywood, when I think about it, I can't even think of somebody who'd be having their hair done. But if you have locks, because Wale, I follow the person who does Wale's locks. And so if you do, even man or woman, if you do have a hairstyle that needs to be maintained or you want to style it for a particular shoot, video, a show, 9 times out of 10, you have to come already with your makeup done and your hair done if you're black. Because
they don't know what to do with it.
They don't know what to do with it, but it's been a problem for decades.
Wow.
And so they're again, I want to say unfortunately it's again because I've heard this before in my own lifetime. I'm not that old, and I've definitely heard of this talk of why we have to bring our own makeup, because if I don't bring my own makeup, she won't have the makeup for me. Despite like, especially in things like shoots, videos, like
anything
like,
where you have makeup on set.
And I'm just like, well, you already know who's coming. You know who's going to be on camera. You know who you're taking pictures of. Why would you not have money? I mean, have makeup and somebody who can do their hair. Don't hire the person who doesn't know how to do that. That they should be losing jobs. But you know, like I said, we just talk about like how race and all this is very
stuff,
real.
It seeps into
everything. Where you could be like a pretty well-known actress, and just because you're black, you know,
they have nothing for you.
You have nothing for you. Only the very big names, I imagine, they scatter to do this. Because I could see like really big names being like, oh, you can't. Oh, well, all this is a wrap. I'm not getting it done.
I'm pretty sure. All right, let's see. Probably like Oprah, Beyonce. Trying to think of big.
Yeah, those are the type of people. Those are the last people where you walk in and you
maybe something like Angela Bassett. Maybe
something like that where you walk in and you're not prepared to do their hair and makeup. And they're probably gonna walk off on you. Yeah. and you're gonna be in trouble and stuff like that. Yeah. But what I was noticing is a lot of people who are not at that level who are talking about this, and unfortunately, this is a conversation that continues to happen, and it hasn't changed because people are not losing shit from it. It's so sad. If you don't get into their pocketbooks, they ain't gonna change nothing.
There's a certain type of people that historically only understand either money or violence, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. And unfortunately, that's why boycotts and stuff like that have to be done because that's all they understand. But on the lighter side, you sent me the joint about Mike Pence.
Oh, I thought this was so funny. So you know how you bullshitting, and you know how you doing your job, and you meet somebody new at your job, and you bullshitting, trying to be nice, and get a little rapport going. Oh, like, this was so nice. You know, you should come over for dinner sometime. And you know, 9 times people got enough good sense to know that you was bullshitting and not to take you up on that. Well, Michael Pence learned today. You gotta be careful with that because somebody might call you on it, and then what you gonna do? So, where was he from? Was he from France?
Ireland.
I know you're
man.
So
Mike Pence.
He did take Mike Pence. So Mike Pence is bullshit in the White House, meeting official prime ministers from other countries.
Whenever you're around,
took him a year to get around to it, but eventually he did go on and pay Pence a visit.
MP.
And it's like, let's have dinner, and I'm gonna bring my boo, my gay boyfriend. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. So the prime minister is openly gay and currently has a significant other. And of course, as this is totally appropriate and normal. Most people bring their significant others.
Yeah, it's
very normal when you're going to
go to my house by myself.
Unofficial dinners with state officials and high ups. You bring your partner. It's very normal. So it's not even like it's a beautiful flex in the sense that
this is what
I'm not doing anything out of the normal.
Yeah.
However, it just so happens my boo is a man and we gay. So I like that because everybody thinks Mike Pence is in the closet anywhere.
What's the comment that was made? I can't remember. You said there was a comment on Twitter that somebody made that was like, my goodness. Glorious. Oh man, but Mike Pence, his face was he did well. I'll say that.
He did.
Mike Pence did well. You know what?
Somebody commenting on like Mike Pence. They said Mike Pence is so far into the closet he can see Narnia.
Yo, man.
Like, but those are
because whenever Mike Pence talks about his wife, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like regular married people don't talk about their wives like that.
I'm gonna be 100% clear with you guys. You can be weird and like have whatever relationship you want, but when you are hating on other people,
thank you. That's the problem.
That's my problem with Michael Pence. Like he was so anti-gay when he was the governor of Indiana.
He was the super not gay loving dude.
He falls under I think you protest too much kind of like it looked too much because he was so like, he was passing these laws. He was losing money. People were like, all right, we're not going to move our company there. You know what? We're not going to have our conference there. You know what? And you had a whole bunch of crazy people supporting his ass.
Yeah.
And then he lucks up and becomes the vice president. I was like, life is just not fair, y'all. It just is what it is.
He got to come up with that.
Yeah. But
and
anyway.
He's essentially not had to do anything.
And do nothing, which is a good thing because we don't want him doing it's like, I've never had an administration where I'm like, just sit there and wait until you go. Just sit. Don't do nothing.
Sit down.
Stop destroying everything. And I think a lot of people who voted them in, like from like the liberals, were like, I don't give a fuck. It's a rigged system. I'm not going to vote. To the people voting for them, it's like they're like, well, he says his mind and he's standing up for us. I'm like, oh, you mean he says hateful, vile, racist shit all day?
Yeah,
and I think they were all in cahoots together because all of them were like, well, just let it burn. If we're not on top anymore. I don't like this country. Just let it burn. Everybody's in this let it burn shit. I'm like, well, where are you gonna be? Where are you gonna be when all this shit burn? It's like the main people talk about let it burn.
Thomas D said, "Oh, that's your boo boo. That's your boo boo."
He's so terrible.
Oh man.
But anyway, that was like really fun.
That was cool because Mike Pence he did his best.
He did.
He tried.
He did his best.
You know what? He didn't make a comment or not. Good on you. Good on you, Mr. Pence.
Since we are like kind of flipping the bird at the government, I shared this story with this because I thought it was a move we could get behind. That a federal court has ruled that flipping someone off is protected by the Constitution.
Yeah, so it is a form of expression.
Exactly. This dude got I guess arrested for flipping off the police. He took his shit all the way up, y'all. He was like, nah.
Yo, do you know how petty that is?
It's so petty.
Yo, do you know how much time you have to take that to the Supreme Court?
Right.
You go all the way up.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a woman. Sorry. So a federal appeals court says a Michigan's woman's constitutional right was violated when she was handed a speeding ticket after giving the finger to a suburban Detroit officer back in 2007.
Wow.
The decision means a lawsuit by Deborah Cruz can proceed. So she's suing them.
Wow.
And so she was like, hey,
shorty about to get paid.
About to get paid. So this is the women are gonna lead us, guys.
Yo, that joint is funny.
That was awesome.
Now I'll say this. Don't press your luck.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna say this. Don't press your luck. I know her last name is Cruz.
I feel like
but don't press your luck.
I feel like there's this feeling that she don't look like us.
She's probably a white Latina. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, don't take that.
Don't
shot.
Take this risk.
Nah.
But somebody
you keep your finger to yourself.
Somebody already did it. We all get to enjoy the petty.
Yeah.
much luck to you, sis.
Yeah, win
it for us all.
Yeah.
We all wish.
Because I'm gonna keep my fingers way to myself.
Right, way to myself.
I don't need that drama, and I don't got money to be going all the way up to a federal appeals court.
So we're gonna get to other heights. So speaking of women, there is a all women space
True that
launch going down. I thought this was significant. Great. It's great for representation. Like I said, we're out here. As somebody who studied in the sciences, the idea that women can't do sciences, us not having very large numbers there, was still a thing when I was in college, but a few years ago. And I had mentors. I had women professors.
I still don't understand,
who went through some bullshit to get their PhDs and become the professors that they are. Like, they have told me stories where they were like the leading authority in what they studied and did. And then, had to go to a conference, or worse yet, we'll go to other countries for a conference. Like, we're bad, just as bad as other countries. And people just didn't know what to do with them, was losing their fucking minds. Like, oh my God, oh my goodness. And they're like, paying them ridiculous amount of money sometimes to present their findings.
Why does it?
And you're paying them so you can, for their knowledge and still being weird as fuck about it. So it is a real thing. And so I thought this was just like wonderful that, they were having.
Let women do things. Heck, like, doesn't it take more energy for you to hate on something?
It does, but it doesn't stop them.
I would rather you just leave it alone. Like, just leave women alone, period. Yeah. And that would be better than being like, you don't know science.
Yeah,
like,
but NASA
no,
had
you
to
don't,
plan
but
this
I know.
in advance because it's an all-female spacewalk, and it's going to happen this month during Women's History Month. So I thought that was historical and fantastic.
Yes.
Women in science, yay!
What's up, y'all? Next, Mars chickens.
Well, let's get the good feels going before we tank back into like some.
Is this good news? This is good. This is sort of good. That's bad.
No, I think it's.
It's bad. We'll leave for the bad. You go with the good.
I think it's. No. We can talk about like it's California. So our governor decided that he was going to use some executive power to bring our death penalty to a halt. Not something I'm crazy about. I'm actually okay. This is the nuanced stance. I have to give you very nuanced my feelings about the death penalty. Mm-hmm. I think if you convict somebody of like terrible crimes, there is no point of paying tons of money to have that person chilling in jail. Like, you took a life. I kind of believe in that eye for eye shit. And if you was particularly walking crazy about it, like, there's some people who kill people and they'll give them like life in prison. And I'm cool with it. But if you out here violating, cutting up people, doing like the worst, or being like super reckless and just taking lives or destroying lives, hey, buddy, I don't feel like I need to pay for you to be in jail. We know what it is. Our woman, this is not like a gender thing.
Just wrap it up.
Gender thing. However, my biggest key almost cancels all that out is equally as important is our justice system is whack. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. You being convicted by something means nothing.
Yes. Who's the dude about 3 weeks ago, where they was like, he been in jail for like 50 years.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I bad.
Right, exactly. They don't want to pay people when they make these mistakes. They don't want to do nothing for these people. I don't think they can get this shit expunged, but it's shitty to have people go to jail. Like, I was like, I'm almost cool with like guilty people not going to jail as long as innocent people don't go to jail, because that's whack. Yeah. That's so whack. So that's my problem with death penalty. Like, when you know somebody did something fucked up, don't got a problem. Yeah. Don't have a problem. Like, you go. But the problem is our system is so bad. Yeah. It's got so many issues. It's so broken. Racial bias and hate and prejudice is just rampant in it. True. You see these super uneven, super like you could commit the same crime and none of that shit is the same. You get these bullshit judges who want to let rapists that got caught red-handed off. I mean, the reddest of red-handed. And then let you get caught, before we pass the law to let weed be legal, because a lot of white people wanted weed to be legal. Yeah. Now let you get caught with
a lot of rich venture capitalist white people wanted weed to be legal.
Right now it's legal. Like that's a whole nother thing. But there's a lot of people moving into weed where you're like, you were so against it all of like 2 months ago. What changed? Oh, well,
the money.
Yeah. I found out I can make a lot of money.
And it's straight cash.
But
it's straight up cash business.
I've got relatives. I know people doing serious time behind weed.
Yeah.
Serious time.
And my thing is straight up, at least in the states where it's legal, any nonviolent offenders need to be
released. And they are, thankfully, our state and a few other states. I think our state
have started to.
When we did ours, that was actually in legalization of weed. That thing, like I thought that was cool. That was very forward thinking of them to say, hey, we're going to legalize weed. That's some bullshit. Yeah. So I hate that it's taking so long for them to go and release those people.
It shouldn't.
It really shouldn't have. Like, if you're selling weed, there should be nobody in jail for a non-violent weed related crime.
That and here's the problem with taking so long to release them, because all you had to do is open the door. That joint should be like calling roll at school in the morning. John, George, Eric,
like,
whatever.
Generate a list.
Come on in.
Generate a list.
Right?
I know there's a process.
It don't take that long
to take people out of jail, but you should generate a list the minute this shit got passed. And the same day you start selling weed is the same day all those mothers shit got out.
Thank you.
It don't. But with the thing, so then there's that part, like and that's what he's saying too. He's saying, like, look, there's innocent people on death row.
Yeah.
I think that you can't, one person dies that shouldn't have, and it's a broken system. And I agree with that. Now, the other problem is I was reading it just a few years ago. I don't remember voting on this, but I was like, and I vote like every year, but I was like, I don't remember this. But supposedly we passed, you know what? I probably did vote for it, and I'm probably not too proud of my vote now that I think about it. It was a thing that says it's going to speed up the death penalty. So,
I remember that.
You're right. And so it was, again, the cloud of, I don't want the dude that we know did it.
Yeah,
be doing endless appeals. Well, it's not endless. They actually can exhaust them. So they have a set number of appeals they can do before they've exhausted it, and then they're in the queue to die. And so there's a few things that have been messing up. Is one, they have been reevaluating because one, they ran out of the drug because state of California is a lethal injection state.
Oh.
And stuff.
The lethal interjection crew.
I think most people are now. I think the last people doing things like the electric chair and
yo, man, it don't take that much to kill people, B.
Well, you have to do it humanely. That's the thing. So they do these chemicals, killing people who, hey, it is a thing.
Just put them in a big bathtub and drop a toaster in there.
No, that's messed up. But don't quote me on has to do lethal injection because I think they used to do gas and all that other stuff like that. But that's messy.
But it's not that hard to find. It's
choking somebody out. Well, no, the drugs
poison them.
No, because it has to be in controlled humane manner. So these drugs allow.
Isn't there a poison that just makes you go to sleep? Just do that. Just give them a whole bunch of poison. Make them go to sleep.
I feel like you could do like cyanide because that's quick.
Yeah, just give them cyanide.
I mean, people can be
like this is tough, man. I can figure this out.
But anyway, the drug that they have to use, that they are legally obligated to use, was they ran short of it, and so they can do humane like death sentences. So that held it up. So they've been having some holdups, and it's been under review before Newsom.
Oh yeah, Newsom.
And Newsom even became governor. So there hasn't been any. What would you call that?
I guess new executions.
New executions for a couple of years now because it's been under review. So he just kind of extended that, but then they were speculating whether he was going to take neutral one thing, like, oh, we're just like looking like, because there's a way he could do this politically where there wouldn't be a huge fallout.
True.
But because due to us voting as California saying, hey, we do want this sped up. Because the way he's doing is he can't get rid of the death penalty. He doesn't have the authority or the power as governor. No. It has to go to a vote. And the last time they did that, California voted to keep it. So there was a small little time, like in the 70s. That's how Manson actually got out of his death sentence.
Oh,
is because California suspended it. And then so everybody who was on death row got switched over to life sentences. And that's how Manson, so when people are like, how did you kill Tukey? But you remember Manson got to live into old age.
Manson was about 300 by the time.
Exactly. That's how that happened.
Yeah.
If you were just in jail at a certain time, you got to stay in there for life. Not that I think that's better, to be honest. But anyway, so come back is that that's pretty much what he's doing. So he's kind of like pausing them or suspending them
for a little bit.
Suspending them. Well, he doesn't sound like he's gonna bring it back though. So as long as he's governor, they'll probably stay suspended. And then when the next governor comes,
he gonna kick it back in. Or she will kick it back in.
They may or may not kick it in. We don't know. Because a lot of there's a movement around the world to get rid of the death penalty. Like I said, I don't agree 100% with that. I don't want to kill people. I don't want to keep people alive that are shitty, horrible people, and we know that for a fact. Like you're a horrible person. I just feel like life in the prison, man.
Yeah, like what are we wasting time?
Wasting time and money for? But that's me being cruel as fuck. But whatever.
Nah,
but like, my problem with
especially
that,
like the serious, pedophilia, raping people, killing people, and all,
right? You destroying lives.
And someone said, how are you going to kill someone to tell them killing is wrong? By killing them,
right?
All right, by killing them.
I don't understand how that is even the thing. Yeah, but that argument.
Well, it's one of those like if I say it, I'm intellectually superior, because I say it and it sounds cool.
This thing that makes it's like a good versus evil thing, and like I always maintain, I was like, I want to say I'm Batman, but he doesn't kill people, but he's also a comic book character.
But the thing is, Batman has killed people.
Right. Yeah. He's like, when it's come necessary. Yeah. When it's been absolutely necessary. We're just running around killing everybody. But I was like, when I do this, I always say I'm not Superman, I'm Batman when it comes to justice.
Yeah.
The idea that I'm going to let you almost win this battle that we're having because I'm taking one in my hands and tying it behind my back because I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm almost letting you win because I'm doing this. It's complete bull. Like how many times has Superman got into some bullshit that he could have fixed like that because he couldn't and
I know there was an All-Star Superman. Right. I know this is getting to the weeds, but All-Star Superman, Lex Luthor had Superman's powers for like 2 seconds. Well, not 2. He had it for like a day or something like that. Right. And he was like, "Oh, I understand everything." Because Superman like sees so much and he hears so much. Blah, blah. He's like, "I can fix everything." He was like, "But you don't understand. It's not my place to just fix people."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, that's where you get that. That's where you get that God complex thing. And I mean, I guess Superman feels that, and I understand where Superman comes from because Superman could easily become just this dictator that just controls his heart. Because what you gonna do? But at the same time, if we know someone who is not going to stop, they're not going to stop. Then there's no reason.
I'm not interested in.
I'm not talking about killing someone who stole a car.
Watch the movies and like that person comes back because you didn't handle business and killed them the first time. Yeah. That's how I feel about that. Yeah. I'm like, that's real. It's like that's real.
Where was your antennas?
Exactly. If you just go on and take that person out, we wouldn't have this problem right now. Like you ever watch? Like I watch history documentaries all the time and be watching people who destroyed the world, who fucked over entire countries. All because somebody was like, you know what? I didn't have the guts.
I couldn't do it.
Or they only got like hurt and then they was able to recover and then come back stronger. And I'm like, why are we doing all that?
Nope. And I'm
too practical, but I feel like it is a slippery slope for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people can't seem to keep that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't understand the balance. So then they want to throw it all out.
Maintain it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people can't maintain it, so they go, we can't do that because I cannot maintain it. They can't maintain it. I don't know. My brain works. I think we just need to find the people who can maintain that balance. We can have laws that maintain that balance of there's certain offenses where if you do these offenses,
you got to go.
We are not going to sit here and like try
because
with
we understand there's a difference between killing someone in defense of yourself or someone else, and then hunting, stalking, preying on someone, sneaking up on someone, and killing them. There is a difference. We understand that.
I don't know.
We're intellectual enough to understand.
Like real evil alive just because you want to feel morally superior.
It's like
weird to me.
Yeah, it's like people that kill someone in defense of themselves. That's understandable.
That doesn't count.
People we can separate.
I hate when people bring up stuff that you're clearly not talking about.
Yeah, it's like we can
that's one way to like derail a conversation, but it's definitely not a way to win a conversation. If you're having a debate and you bring up like, what about this, the obvious thing I'm not talking about? I already know that this conversation is over.
Yeah, it's like we done.
Yeah, but anyway,
on to more happiness.
On happiness.
We got a couple of happy. We got
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, we can do Jordan Peele.
I read this article that I thought was cool. That it was saying, hey, Jordan Peele is not the next Hitchcock or Wes.
Spielberg or
he's his own guy, and I do feel that he does bring his own, like, everybody's influenced by somebody. They're inspired by others, there's montages to be made and things like that. But I do think with his particular type of psychological, that's all his stuff are psychological thriller horror type movies. Or
a documentary like Get Out. But I was like, oh, this real happy.
I'm not doing this with you today. But I do feel like he brings something new and something like different. Like he's revisiting it very much in his own way. Like I can't wait until this Twilight thing comes out.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have to pay. I'm gonna have to pay CBS for these coins.
Yo, see if you can.
I'm already.
Yo, you got a Roku. See if you can get that. See if you can get that free like month trial or something.
Right. I was like,
because your boy got free 3 months.
Okay.
I'm just saying, CBS. We might not be cool after June. I'm just saying. After June, I might be like,
well, you know. I mean, I ain't gonna be real. Like, we're going back to this. We're going to this part where everything's like a la carte.
Yeah.
For your content, because everybody's trying to eat. Everybody's trying to eat at the levels they've always been eating.
Yeah.
So I was like, sometimes in a way, there's a little bit of gluttony because you got multi-billion-dollar companies now who are like, I want to make you pay for every little thing so I can keep up this multi-billion-dollar stuff. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we'll cover that. We'll cover that. We'll do a show and cover that one time.
But there is a lot of that. So now it's to the point where it's like, if you I pay for subscriptions when you got something hot I want to watch.
Yeah,
I do, because I was like, I want it to be clear, and there's a reason I do that. It's for the same reason you pay for your artist friend or you go buy an album when you listen to everything. You know. On your phone or whatever, like you could get it free on Spotify, but I still buy electronic digital album, but I don't buy like real albums anymore because I'm like, why? I do like some of the art that comes in them, but
yeah,
I do miss that part. But anyway, I do digital downloads, but I purchased them because I want you voting with your dollars. You're letting people know you want to see more of this, and it is very important, especially with marginalized, underrepresented groups, that we purchase the content. Like it's so important. Like you really got to get it together with this. Like I don't want to pay for nothing.
Well,
I want everything.
Yeah, because there was a video a friend of mine sent me where this black guy was saying, like, in the black community, he was like, most black businesses can be bootstrapped. Mm-hmm. If we bought from us,
right?
They were like, the black community spends X amount of $1 billion a year. Imagine if,
and then we
half
really
of that
get
was
mad at people when they go and say, okay, I'm going to go and curate something or accommodate another group of people. Yeah. We're like, you need to bring. Well,
you didn't buy.
You didn't buy.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem for us. We don't want to put our money where our mouth is. And we do spend money. When we go out and spend money, it's not like we don't spend money. We have a lot of buying power.
Yes.
And we have to know how to spend that money and work with companies. I try not to get frustrated with black businesses that are working. Sometimes they could be doing a lot better. I'm not going to say that there aren't black businesses, and there's certain things that come with black
We're talking about the black businesses that are doing well. They're doing fine.
Got this stuff
They're not
together.
doing nothing wrong.
And exactly. And they might have like a hard day, or there's something you have to, like, if you know they're popular, don't go during their popular times and then want to sit there and complain that they're so busy.
Yeah.
Like it's lunchtime, everybody comes here for lunch. What are you tripping out for? You could go down the street to a mainstream joint and have the same issue.
Yeah.
But you will still go there. You'll stop going to the black business that has the same problem as the other mainstream joint.
True.
And you'll keep going to the mainstream joint. Like this double standard. I want more from you than I want from anybody else. Be killing me. Yeah. So I try not to do that anymore. And I had to catch myself. I was like, I was totally doing that. And I was like, oh, let me not do that.
Yeah.
So but anyway, back to Peele, like
he's his own man.
He's his own man. And I love that this article.
And I'm hyped for next week.
It was. Oh, is that when Us comes out?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so Us is coming out.
What was it? Was it South by or whatever? Whoever didn't holler at us, they didn't bring us through.
Right.
Wherever they
really
streamed
should
it.
Pitch something for South by Southwest.
We gonna get together because you've been having it.
Yeah.
We gonna. 2020. NERDSoul South by Southwest. Right. You just wait.
Another good news is so we'll work with the positive, and then this will take us back into negative.
Oh
and
boy,
then we'll call it a wrap. So what's her name? I'm trying to find her name. So you remember
Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
the teenage student in Florida. Last name is Campbell. Can't remember the first name. She took her SAT scores. They're like, these SAT scores are too bombastic.
Yeah,
they can't be yours.
You're too smart.
You're too smart. We're going to disqualify you. And so she took them to court. She was fighting them. She relented because it wasn't working, unfortunately. And then she took them again, did even better. And they're like, now, bitch, what? So this is to celebrate her and kind of show what we're going under. Like, that was complete like BS. How you gonna doubt? You can't prove how she cheated. You just know her scores.
Honestly,
it's all about how high her scores are.
Yeah.
And that was like, I wanted to celebrate her, but also use that as a leaping board for what's going on with a national. This is not just USC. A national scandal, Georgetown.
Eon, big shout out to Eon. Real quick, all right. So Thomas D said Joker had it coming true. Keep the Punisher speed down. Yes. Eon said, did we roast the rich kids yet? No, and we're about to. We're about to roast the rich kids right now for a good 10 minutes. So get strapped in, click up, get ready, because we're about to roast rich kids.
Right. With this nonsense. So we got and there's also the other person I wanted to bring up. What's her name? I wanted to remember her name.
Oh, the sister that sent her kid. Don't have her name in the host, the sister that sent her kid.
Tanya McDowell.
Yeah, Tanya McDowell.
She got convicted of first-degree larceny for stealing an education because she lied about where they lived.
Mm-hmm.
She was homeless.
She was homeless.
And wanted her child to go to a better school, her 6-year-old child. So she wanted to put him in the school, and she was convicted, and I believe she's still in jail.
Yeah. Now I want you to sink that in.
Yeah.
Now, flip side. Earlier this week, we wake up, turn on the news
to multiple actresses being indicted for paying
coaches.
So the coaches are the people who are leading the scam.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference because. At first, my response to them indicting these people and arresting them people for pretty much paying anywhere from $15,000 to $500,000.
Yeah, per child.
Yeah, $500. Well, no, I think $500 was for 2 kids.
Okay,
it was cool. It was 2 kids. I think the most was $500,000, so $500,000, to do different things to help their kids get into schools.
Yeah.
And so it depended on what coach, I guess. So how they were doing this is they were pretty much some of the scandals involved of the
taking the test.
The cheaper ones were for having someone take the test for their kids to get the score so they could get in.
Yeah.
The more expensive ones were for the coaches.
That Photoshop.
The more expensive ones, the 500 was for coaches to say, okay, I've recruited such and such daughter and son for crew team, basketball, soccer.
They were photoshopping their faces on people
and stuff, right?
They
had never played the sport, period.
It almost makes it comical, son.
It does. It really does. It almost seems funny, and stuff like that. Where that's the coaches were literally. So that was like your get in free card. Where if you can get coaches say, I want this person to be on my team. And then what was so crazy about it, there's no oversight. Well, apparently there was no oversight. That's what a lot of universities are saying, so they can get away from it. And so
if you think nobody if you don't think there's at least one dean that didn't know.
Right. Because I feel like somebody else has to sign on that, even if you are recruiting star
It's one of those things that either they knew or didn't want to know.
Exactly. Star athletes that never played. They literally never played. Like so the biggest, and then it makes me think of Abigail, that chick from Texas that sued because she couldn't get in.
It's like you ain't smart enough.
And apparently you don't have enough money.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things. Like one, rich people have been doing this all the time.
That's why I was so surprised. I didn't know this was illegal. I was
that's why college has always been set up to be exclusionary, so that rich people can have a better education and keep poor people dumb. That's what we all knew. We're like, yo, poor people.
I don't think college was set up for that, but I do agree that there's a huge barrier.
The Ivy institutions have always set themselves up.
Ivy institutions, not just college in general.
Sorry. I'm not talking about
because they've got state
college.
University.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the colleges in this scale.
Yeah.
We're talking about Yale, Brown, Princeton,
Georgetown in this case.
Georgetown is in this.
A lot of private universities.
Private and Ivy League schools.
I don't think it was solely private.
Schools of prestige.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Status.
And that's why they have this exclusionary pricing, because I went to Princeton.
And then they'll tell you because they're cultivating the best of the best, but knowing people who went to some
you're cultivating the rich of the rich. Let's be honest.
These schools,
but we already knew this.
The education isn't there. Like people are like, I could have went to a state school and got the same quality education. Yeah. It's all about who goes to those schools. It's the network you're really buying into. So anyway, the one I want to shit on the most was this chick that
I love this story. So I'm like, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just gonna call her Auntie Becky, like everybody's calling her.
Aunt Becky.
Like, I don't know her real name, and I don't want to confuse her with the other actress.
Her name is Lauren Laughlin.
Okay, but there's two of them.
Yeah, Felicity.
No, that's the other
Huffman.
one. Nope,
that's the other one.
Nope, that's it. That's not all of them.
No, but I'm just talking about the two women they keep showing. I know there's more actresses.
Well, there's three, and I think Felicity is not. You know what? I'm confusing them. So that's why I'm gonna call her Auntie Becky.
Aunt Becky.
Okay, Aunt Becky, because I can't keep them separate because they keep showing them together, and I'm like, I keep switching them, and I've never known their names before this. The ones
that they're showing together is Aunt Becky and Felicity Huff.
Okay, okay, those are the ones. Okay, because I want to keep doing this. Yeah. But yeah, so from Full House. Becky,
whose name is Lori Laughlin.
Okay, Lori Laughlin. Okay, got it. Lori Laughlin. I can do Lori. Okay, so Lori has a daughter that she paid. She has two daughters that she paid to get into school. She did the 500 thing. They are supposed to be crew star players. Never played crew and never been on crew in their life, and never played for USC. So they didn't really get into the older daughter. Because I think the older daughter is kind of handling her business. I think what was so scandalous about her younger daughter, Olivia, is that she had already started, because she's an influencer. She's on YouTube, she's on Instagram, and she don't know how to shut up. Exactly. She more or less uses her dorm as like a background to do all these ads. So she had sponsors and everything. Yo, bro, keyword is had. And stuff like that. And so she already got controversy before this broke, talking about, she like, I love game
I don't care about school. I want to hang.
I just want to hang and have a good time. And, I can't always like be in class because I got to do this shoot halfway around the world. Like school, like it's crazy. Like you paid all this money for her to go to school. She clearly didn't want to go to school. Yeah.
But let me say this to parents. Stop wrapping your insecurity and your self-identity in the accomplishments of your children. Because that's why she's at that school. Because Lori wants to feel good that my child went to USC or my child went to Princeton.
I feel like she worry about what you do.
Don't worry about your child.
To do
worry about your child,
stuff.
But not.
Or you could have like what I think that is like you didn't. God, the word I want to use is evaporated, but you didn't teach your child. I was taught from a very early age the expectation of me to go to college, even though my parents didn't have it. They're like, you gotta get these grades together because you gotta get scholarships because we can't afford to pay for it, but you're going. And so if you do not build a child with that, and you have to give your expectations early. If you really want them to do stuff like that, and then they don't always roll with it. Like my parents wanted all of us to go to college, and I was the only one that made it. So I mean, that's not to say that your child's going to do it anyway. And maybe they were telling her from a very young age they like wanted her to go to college, but she seems like she's totally not into the idea. Nah. And so she's been running her mouth nonstop. Well, not nonstop. She like turned off the comments on her IG page, and people been doing a lot of articles about her when they haven't really been covering any of the other students. I don't think They haven't brought up
a lot of students.
There's a lot of students involved, some who didn't know and some who do, but there are quite a few that didn't know this was just done by their parents. So I can totally see that being blindsided. I mean, you're like in college making it happen.
Yeah.
But I think what is so scandalous about Olivia is that she's this big influencer
she talks crap about being in school.
Like she doesn't want to be there, and she's just like
imagine
she wants to experience.
Let's flip it. Imagine if her videos were like, man, I really love being in school. I'm just trying to work so hard.
I don't think there would be a story.
It wouldn't be a story because it'd be like, Dad, she shouldn't be there, but at least she respects the opportunity.
But she's so like, oh my God, well, you guys, I just want to have fun. And
so, big shout out my boy Eon in the chat. I'm glad you're here. He said, out the gate, I think it's clear someone in the FBI didn't get their bribe. Otherwise, this wouldn't be news.
Right. Because I was like...
I do think this is funny. Because we were all like jail time?
Exactly. I was like, I didn't know it was legal. Now, why in this particular case it is because the way it's being done with the fraud of doing the
because I'm gonna say this is why
people have been building wings, libraries, all kinds of buildings, things be named after you, and then all of a sudden all your kids get in. Everybody knows, everybody knows this game. But that's all legacy
here's the problem. I don't think it's the FBI bribe. This is what I think happened.
What?
They said that the guy that set this up to do this for people was set up as a non-profit. Keep that in your head.
Oh, okay.
And then they were not only paying the money to him, but then writing it off on their taxes. This became an IRS thing.
Ah, okay.
And IRS said, oh, that's our money. And then they got that mob stuff where they was like, fraud. And that's probably where this came from. Because that's the only thing that I heard that
I did read that there was a non-profit. Yeah, exactly.
And then when they said they were paying him and then writing off, I was like, there it is. I was like, IRS was like, no.
Yeah.
IRS was like, and now I will say this. I saw the press conference. IRS should probably have another young lady speak for the lady that was there because she was kind of fumbling. I'm just saying she might not have been ready for the spotlight.
She's not ready. Nobody. This is so high profile. Like I would even think that she
was probably practicing in her hotel room like 30 minutes.
I feel like she's probably even done press conferences before, and she's never had this one with this much heat, this much attention. So yeah. But
Tiffany Little said they had scheming packages. That was funny. The fact that they were like, all right, we can take a test. All right, we can like take pictures. Like imagine like going to a photo shoot. You gotta be like, you gotta be like, and then be like, all right, we're gonna take your face and like put it on somebody else's head. And it's like,
it's so bad. They were doing so much. But at the same time, they're talking about like affirmative action and all this. I was like, the people and that's that kills me about affirmative action, that people never understood. You still got to be qualified. You still have to be qualified. And 9 times out of 10, you're not just qualified, you're probably overqualified.
True.
Because they want to make sure you can handle this. Yeah. And then you get there and you knock everything out of the park and they're like, oh shit, you're making this look bad.
Yeah, because you've had to excel your whole life.
You've always had to do twice.
You're up against, imagine this.
Triple.
Imagine this. You're going to school with kids that never had to deal with institutional racism. They've never had to deal with the daily stress of just being black.
I mean, when I first went to school, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Well,
that comes after you get there.
What I'm saying is like your regular daily life, you've been a black woman. Mm-hmm. So you've had to deal with like the small stuff of being a black woman.
Of course.
Then on top of that, you had to be in a school that about four times over white children disciplines black kids. Mm-hmm. So you're more likely to get detention or suspension or office referral or whatever. Right. So you had to navigate that and still get good grades to get your scholarship. Okay. By the time you get to college, you're like, I've been doing this against kids that have never had adversity. I
definitely went to school with people who had no idea why they were there, and their parents were paying mad money for them to be there. And I was just like, you could went to community college. You should have figured this shit out.
Eon says, if you're a sports coach, wouldn't you be pissed that if you didn't get young athletes you want because these rich kids want to pretend to be a student? You know what?
I don't think it was.
It was probably a situation where they were like, "All right, look, we'll run this scheme with you, but I got to get my picks in."
Right.
I've been watching this kid since middle school. I've been watching this kid since high school.
You always have people who sit on the bench.
Yeah,
you always have people who say on the bench.
But then it was
They're
like they was faking
backups.
injuries.
Right.
Like, oh, my ACL. They're like, but don't you lose your scholarship when you get? Because I've known kids that have played.
Right.
And you get hurt, guess what?
It's
your
over.
Scholarship gone. So I'm like, how your scholarship ain't gone?
Right.
But see, remember, there's probably so many kids in and out. People forget about it.
Like, because what they do is
because they don't need it. They take back their scholarship, but then they still got the money to stay. So it just becomes a zero-sum game.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
You can still pay for it. So the idea is to get you in. That money's just to get you in. That's not
once you get in, they can handle everything else.
You still have to pay tuition.
Yeah.
Because they get a scholarship and then they don't play and then they lose it. Like, I think that would even work better. Like, if they weren't constantly, you didn't keep them on the roster.
Yeah,
like there's no need to keep them around. Once they got in, because they don't kick you out of school if you get injured. They just eventually you drop out because you can't afford it.
Thomas D, you stupid. He said Clueless 2019. He said,
that's how she came off.
Yeah.
That's how she came off like this Olivia chick. I was like, dang.
I will say this. I'm gonna put y'all up on something. They said they met upwards of like 50 arrests, right? Something like that. So I'm gonna say approximately 50. I don't know if that's the exact number because I can't remember the statement, but I think it's 50 arrests. I'm gonna put y'all up on something. There's probably 4 times that amount of people that are wiping their foreheads and breathing a sigh of relief.
Right.
You think this all the people? Oh no. No. This is not all the people. I'm gonna just put you in just so we're
you know what
clear.
Makes it worse than that the chick put her dad.
200 people out there like, whoo, good God.
She put because people are roasting her, right? So her name is Olivia Jade.
Olivia Jade. That is not what your mama named you.
Whatever. But okay, so people are roasting her, and she's like, but he faked his way through a college. So she literally put her dad on blast for faking his way through college, and brought up the fact that I think he's a Trump supporter whose biggest gripe.
Why are you trying to?
Biggest gripe is people not carrying their own weight.
Yo,
the irony is strong. Like you did everything. You did everything for this chick, and she's just like, whenever it comes to these rich kids, fun of me. I'm gonna tell everything.
Yeah, these
kids ain't loyal.
As bad as Nino Brown, boy.
This kid ain't loyal at all.
If Nino Brown going down, everybody going down.
Everybody going down.
This is big business,
right? Exactly.
Look, here's the deal. I think this is not only a big blow to the people involved and the schools involved, but this is also a big blow to college. College has been getting hit very hard in these last years because people are like,
I don't need to go to college.
Is it worth it?
Right.
Depending on unless you are planning on being a physicist or a doctor.
There's a lot of jobs. Let's break it down like this. There's a lot of jobs where a college academic education
is not necessary.
It can be. It really depends on what you're going to do. I think we need to have a coming to Jesus moment about college.
Yeah.
It is not something that you do. Unfortunately, I was in a generation where this conversation was not happening, and it was just like, go to college and you'll be great. And was I great? Yes. There's a lot of things about college where, especially if you go to it even for a few years or you make it through, there are going to be things I learned about life and experiences I had that I would never have that definitely made me a better person. Is it worth the price tag I got to it? That's debatable. But I had a degree at the time and had a plan at the time that required a college degree. Actually, my plan actually requires more schooling than just a 4-year degree. So it made sense for me. I don't think I would change anything. I might have changed the school I went to, but other than that, I wouldn't really change anything. I might have traveled more. Those are probably the only things I would change. Different school and traveling more, but I would still go to college with the understanding that you need to have a plan. What was changing when I went to school, and if you're a generation before or after me, is that it's not automatic like it used to be.
Yeah. And
there's more competition.
Schools are still trying to push this thing and hold on to go to college and you'll be great. And it's like that hasn't been real since like the 80s, maybe mid 90s. It's been a while.
The 80s is going a little too far back. You had a 4-year degree.
I remember people in the 90s that were still like, I've got a degree and I'm struggling. It's not like
Really,
it's not like, yo, it's the 80s or 70s. Like, you get a degree and you just got a great job and everything. Because remember, corporations, a lot of regulations and stuff were starting to break in the 90s.
Like the champion of people who went to school got the connects, and they may not
finish. I forgot. Yeah, but you're dealing with a lot of people that went the network route as far as the academic route. Because there's two in
there's
college.
A lot of people who are winning, and I feel like the people who are, if that was your thing, I'm like, well, I want to ask you what you majored in, and then what was your plan? Because I knew people I was graduating with who had zero plan. They hadn't did any internships. They weren't really applying to jobs, and it's the last semester of school.
Yeah,
and you looking at them sideways, girl, like, or guy, you're like, hey, why don't you
come on.
And so now more so than ever, you need to sit down. It is an investment. It can't be about it's too expensive now to be about the experience. The experience is great. It's a once in a life. And you're not going to get it anywhere else. And I'm just going to be 100% with you. But it's expensive, and it needs to be worthwhile. You need to be able to pay loans back if you're
American society has overvalued degrees to the point where it's not worth it. There's no reason a file clerk needs a bachelor's. There's no reason.
That's not about devaluing a degree. That's not.
No, I said overvaluing. They're making it more.
Okay. My thing is, it's not about valuing the degree. It's more about not fitting things together. I've seen positions where, yes, there's no reason why a file clerk or some entry level job should require a degree.
Can you stand
to
up?
Do it.
Do you know your alphabet?
Right. And so when the recession hit, there was so much of that, and that to me is just taking advantage.
Yeah,
we still have extremely low, like, despite everybody in this situation now, we don't have like a over degree like population. If you're talking about degrees, I forget the last numbers, but I felt like it was like last time I looked, it was only like 35%. It's like really low, despite all these people.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, "Yo, look, nah, I can't take it."
Like it's never been high. It's been lower. This is probably the highest it's ever been, and still hovering around 35. And don't let us talk about like advanced degrees, masters, and PhDs. That's why so many people get to come over